Welcome to Basketball Heads Live. I'm your host, Glenn Pooh Harding, and tonight we have a very special guest. This basketball head is an Archbishop Molloy great who walked in the shadows of greatness after Kenny Smith, Adophus Gaffney, Bob Moran, Kenny Anderson, and Jason Gilliam. This 6'4" combo guard with a high IQ was very solid at the guard position. He was one of the more dominating players in the Catholic School League and throughout the city. After Molloy, he attended South Carolina State University and continued to thrive as a student athlete. At SCSU, he had a good career and was able to grow as a man. These qualities prepared him to thrive and play overseas as a professional athlete. When the game was over, as my guy Eric Hicks and sponsor at Game Over Sports NYC would say, time to make the donuts. So this basketball head made his way into coaching. He began to coach girls at Boys and Girls High School from 2012 to 2018. Not wanting to settle for just coaching, he began training and started the Heal Thy Sports training. From what I hear, he doesn't turn anyone away, from the elite athletes to the average and beginners. At Heal Thy Sports training, they help build mind, body, and spirit for youngsters learning how to play the game. In 2019, this basketball head also became a USA basketball youth development coach to go along with his extensive resume. Queens, stand up and help me welcome to the show Archbishop Molloy great, Laron Mapp.
Y'all ready? Yeah. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. 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 Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. 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 East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody, get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
What's up, boss, man? How you feeling, man?
I'm great, man. Listen, your cousin threatened me. He was like, yo, make sure my cousin intro is hot. I'm telling you, my big cuz.
I appreciate that, man. That's my little cuz, man. I love him dearly. I appreciate that. That
no doubt.
That intro was crazy. I had to look around to see who you were talking about. But nah, man. But thank you so much. It's really an honor to be here. It's really a pleasure.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Hey, I remember Mel telling me, yo, G, my big cuz, you know, because I was joking on him saying, yeah, I know he had to take you to the movie to go see Boys in the Hood. He was like, nah, it was Menace to Society. He was like, yo, G, they was shooting in the movie theater back then, man, so my big cuz had to hold me down. So salute to you, fam.
It's all love, man. It's all
no
love.
Doubt.
I had a chance to go through and check out some of your guests and you know, check out some of your interviews, man, and appreciate your work and what you're doing, and it's dope, you know. So just for me to be here, man, I don't take this for granted. You know,
appreciate you, my brother. No doubt. So, since you've been watching the show, you know what the first question is. Who introduced you to the game?
Oh, man. First of all, my big brothers, you know, they introduced me to the game. It was, for me, just growing up, I found basketball at a young age. You know, my dad, you know, I didn't have a dad growing up, but I had some great father figures in my life. But the one thing that I realized at a young age was that I really loved the game and I really enjoyed it. And my older brothers really put me in that position. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate them for that.
No doubt. Where in Queens did you grow up?
I'm from South Jamaica, Queens, man. Southside Queens, man.
Southside.
Yeah, man. Southside stand up, and
That's right. We're gonna make some noise. We're gonna make some noise from Southside.
grew up right off Merrick Boulevard, 116.
Okay.
And yeah, man, you know, grew up around the Baisley area, 40 Projects area, you know, IS8, 72.
Okay.
And
So
my home.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I was talking to Bimmy, right? And my guy Shy, coach, you know, worldwide Shy, if you see him online, that's Khalil Brantley, Pops.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
he said, he said, nah, son, ball. Cause I heard online that, you know, he played but he was focused more on the streets. That's why he couldn't make, you know, the team on Jackson. And I hear guys talking all the time, but when I hear somebody give that stamp of approval, like, nah, son was nice. He just was one of those guys who I knew a lot of, right?
Yeah.
Who was in the school, who was nice, but just wasn't on the team.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Did you? Now, I'm going for voucher number 2. Do you know about Bimmy playing ball?
Ben was nice. Growing up, yeah, Ben was nice for sure.
Okay, for sure. I mean, we're gonna make some noise for Bimmy right now.
Yeah,
it's stamp number 2, fam.
Shout out to the OG, man. You know what I'm saying? He paved the way for a lot of us. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Putting us in opportunities to play in tournaments and really growing up. His give back was real. So shout out to
that. That's dope, right? Because sometimes if you don't get a chance to participate and play, you make sure, you know what, this next generation, I'll make sure I'm gonna put them in position to have, you know, a chance.
You know, and a lot of the older dudes, man, growing up, man, you know, big shout out to Gary Clifton, man, Rise, NYC Rise, man, he's a legend. You know, he really gave me an opportunity to really do my thing, man. Them, those guys over there on the Baisley side, man. Shout out to Queens, man, for real, man. A lot of older guys play for us, so that's dope.
Hey, Bim, that's stamp number 2, fam. All right, and you gave the 3rd stamp. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't think no more stamps is necessary, man.
Nah, fam, he's official tissue. You know what I'm saying? Basketball has for life.
For sure, man.
No doubt. So, what was the first team you was on?
Sure. Growing up, I started in middle school at 72. I really got my opportunity to play high level basketball when I went to Molloy. You know, my story is kind of interesting, and I used to go to Roy Wilkins. If you live in Queens and you know about Roy Wilkins, you know, they used to have rec ball there, and every Sunday the older guys used to play, and they never let me play. You know what I'm saying? They never let me play. And I used to only get on the court in between games. So, you know, every time the game was over, I'd go in and get some shots in. But one day, I was like, yo, you know what? When I get to play with them, I'm going to kill them. I'm going to destroy them. And I think for me, that really, it started me at a young age because my older brothers didn't want to let me play. So I really had to earn everything that I got, you know? So I think going from there, one day a guy got hurt. They only had 10. A guy got hurt. They needed one more. I told you when I got on the court, I was going to bust their ass. You know what I'm saying? And I did that. So, you know, I can't believe, man, like, you know, one of the people who were there, Chris Curry, Jason Curry's dad.
Okay.
He came to me and was like, yo, you know, what high school you going to? I was on my way. You know, I ain't know nothing about it. High school, I just was going to go to my local high school. And he was like, no, you ever heard of Molloy? I was like, what's that? He's like, it's a Catholic school. But the one thing that my mom's, you know, she made sure that I had good grades. So out of middle school, even though I was in 72 and I hung around some of the not so good kids, I still had an A average.
Facts.
So I was able to get a scholarship to go to Molloy, man. I was blessed. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
That's where it started.
Let's bring the phone down a little bit.
Okay.
Try to get it straight. Because, you know, when I get it on YouTube, I want to make sure everybody is good, all right?
Sure.
And your name can go next to you and all that. All right. So, how important was it to play with the older guards back then? Because I went through the same thing. And if you came up in New York City, that's where you started at. Playing with the older guys and testing your skills there first, if you got a chance.
Yo, I think that's what New York City was all about, man. It was all about you trying to, because you really didn't have the social media and the internet like how we have nowadays. So
right.
If somebody was considered better than you, you went and watched them play. You went to the park and really watched their games and really tried to mimic their moves, and you really tried to do, you know, for real, man. Growing up under Shaheen Holloway, you know, Rayford Alston, those guys, man, I used to really want to outplay them and really just want to just be on the court with those guys. And when you're younger, you got to show up, you know. So, and that's really everywhere, man. But New York back in the days, it was tough,
yes.
You know. Not gonna say it was better. It was just different. The times are different. You know?
Yes. I like the way you said that. Not better, but different, right? And I'm quite sure the older guys, when they looked at us coming up, it was like, you know, shit different, right? Some of them probably was saying those guys wasn't as good as us. So I don't like to say that, right? But I like the way you put it. Definitely different.
Yeah, it was a different time, man, you know, and I bet you the people, but the times before us, they can say the game was different as well. And the game is ever evolving. And the longer you stay in this game, you're going to have to adapt.
Facts.
You know, not just to the way of the style of play, but to the personalities that come with the game.
At the time when you was coming up, right, at this time when you watching, who's the best player in the neighborhood?
Man, and the best player in the neighborhood at the time when I was growing up. Damn. I would say Shaheen. I would say Skip. Those two dudes, Queens especially. For Queens, Shaheen, man, and Skip to Malou, man, Rayford Alston. Yeah, man, we played for DeBron and the Trotters. Word. So it was cool, man. But for me, growing up younger, those were the two dudes.
Did you model your game after them?
Nah, I'm lefty. It was Kenny Anderson. It was Kenny
My
Anderson.
God, kid. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It was.
That's right.
Once I found out about Molloy and I did my homework and I did my research, you know, I found out that Kenny Anderson was that guy. And Coach Curran used to show me videos. And I remember to this day watching Kenny Anderson versus Jim Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like going at it at Myrtle Ball Beach Classic. I remember just watching nothing but Kenny Anderson videos, and I tried to mimic my game after him as much as I could. But he's one of the greatest players ever. So, you know, when I saw you wrote right down on the thing, like, you know, Molloy great, I wouldn't consider my career to be great. I told you I'm a humble dude. I'm an honest guy, man. I would say my career was pretty good. You know, I'm not going to be remembered for putting up thousands of points. You know, I really appreciate Molloy for learning the game. I learned how to play. And I think because I learned how to play at that age, it's helping me teach the game now. So.
Definitely. When I put that, again, I go by certain guys who are, you know, who I call on every now and again, who are connected, right, to different people. Like people are connected to you that I know. Besides your cousin, I can take your cousin advice all day, but it's cool. I got guys that I know you. And when I bring your name up, they have nothing but great things to say. So if anything, Molloy produced a great person.
I appreciate that.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. And they said son was a killer, man. He was out there doing his thing. Like when I hear guys like, nah, dudes is trashing him. I hear that from some guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they used to dog him on the court. And everybody get their ass bust. Facts. It happens to the best of us. Speaking of Kenny, and we're going to get back to the rest of your interview. We played against him 1986, Glen Falls. Yo, we was trying to score all the points we could before he came in the game. Because he didn't play the first quarter.
He couldn't play the first quarter.
Yo, this was such a legendary thing.
I watched that.
Thank you, Jack Curran. Like, rest in peace. Thank you. Because I don't know if the game would have been this. Now, I'm not saying we wouldn't have won, but the game would have just been a lot different because with those 3.5 quarters he played, we wound up winning by 1 in overtime. And he had 21 points in 3.5 quarters.
And that was a lot back then. I'm telling you. Because it was
in 3.5 quarters. He didn't even play the whole first quarter. He missed the whole first quarter.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. So definitely, always somebody to look up to, man.
Yeah, and I think for me, man, that was the first person who I actually watched their game and broke their game down. Really, and I really was trying to really mimic everything that I seen him do, and it was hard because he was so great, and sometimes it's just God-given ability, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just blessed for the opportunity to be able to learn from Coach Curran. You know, every player that went to Molloy and played under him, they can attest to just the type of person that he was and just the things that he taught us about the game. There was no way we could beat a Christ the King. There was no way. You know what I mean? Eric Barkley, Lamar Odom, they had Big Molly. They had a crew, and there was no way that you could stay close into the game as long as you played the game the right way. So I think growing up, I learned how to play the game the right way. So. And I think that saved me in any opportunity or any type of game situation that I was in, regardless of how much better the player might have been. For real, I knew how to play.
So how was your time at Molloy?
My time at Molloy was different, man. It was, you know, coming from South Jamaica, Queens, and coming from 72, coming from the hood. You really, it was a culture shock. You know, out of 1,600 kids, only 80 were black. So, you know, people could say that it's easy to adjust, but it was a hard adjustment for me. It was. But I think the one thing that I learned at a early age was if I didn't have the grades, I couldn't play.
Facts.
So, and I had a scholarship, so I had to maintain a 90-something average. So that wasn't hard. It was easy. If I want to play, I'm gonna do my books. So.
Yeah, and who were some of the people that was on your team?
Oh man, yo, you know what? If you remember, people might not remember, man, but one of the best players in high school that was on my team was a guy named Steve Sickerick. He went to Queens College. He was a tall, slim, lanky dude, and he was just nasty. He just had a silky game to him, and it was crazy because he was really, really good, but he never talked to me. He never spoke. He never talked. He was just the quietest guy ever. Like to this day, when I see him and if I talk to him, I want to ask him like he never spoke. He was just a silent killer. You know.
Wow.
So, but we didn't have, and that's why I appreciate the game so much because I didn't have stars at Molloy. It was me, and I wasn't a star. I was the best of the guys, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never sit here and act as if, and even if I train players or if I'm in the basketball circuit, I'm never gonna act as if I was this great high school player with all these accolades. Nah, but you know I put in work.
Hey, listen, bro, that's all it's about. I'm gonna go back to my team in '86. We won a city championship. No one was all city. I'm gonna say this again. We were the Star Killers. Now, again, I have these talks with my guys all the time. I respect those dudes who are legends. Great. The people who did it at the highest levels. But it's a lot more of us than there are of those guys. Right? And I'm not comparing the two, but these guys got better playing with us. Right? I played with a whole bunch of great players from Ross Strickland, Boo Harvey. I played with Kenny. I played with Derek Chivas. These guys, teammates, and who they played high school ball with and shared the table with. These guys don't get a lot of accolades. So on my show, I try to balance it, right? I don't want just legends. I need guys who was on the team. Lamont Long, he played at Boys and Girls. He rarely got any burn, but he was on the championship team. But if you ask anybody out in the parks in these tournaments, they'll tell you Lamont was a killer. Can't shortchange that.
For sure. For sure.
No? For sure.
And I think everyone's value of worth is different, you know, to each his own. I realized when I got to a certain level that what I was going to be remembered for, or what I wanted to be remembered for, and it had nothing to do with playing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, when people look at me and call me a legend, or call me this or they call me that, you know, I'm more than humbled, because I don't throw words out there lightly, and I value people's opinion, but I know how much hard work I put in to get to a certain level, and I'm nowhere near there yet. Like when I told you I appreciate being on a call, or being, you know what I'm saying, being in this interview with you, you know what I'm saying? Like I really was like, what, like for real? Like, come on, man, for real, man. And that's how my cousin. That's how he is. Everybody who knows me will tell you that about me. Like I don't look for the accolades. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have 1,000 followers, bro. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like I love this game so much. I don't care about a lot of the stuff. I think part of why I am where I am today, or where I'm going, is because I've had that approach. You know what I'm saying? And I value relationships, bro. I value that. So every person that I come across, I love them, because I love people. And basketball has given me that opportunity to touch the lives of so many people. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I know that there's probably gonna be videos or funny things that people do that's gonna get like millions and thousands of views. You know what I'm saying?
Nate Robinson.
And you know, I just hope one person who watches this really understands and just like can understand. Like I want this. There's a kid out there, like real talk. There's a kid out there who probably saw I posted this, or there's a friend of mine or a family relative of mine or somebody who saw me post this, and they probably told someone to watch this. And that kid is probably somebody who has a big dream, or somebody who fakes think that they play basketball every day, who, when you ask them, do they do push-ups? They be like, yeah, they do push-ups, but they don't do push-ups. They not in the gym, in their own crib, not in the gym every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to talk to that kid. So basketball heads, I'm here to talk to that person tonight.
That's right.
I'm here to talk to the kids that want to be LeBron James, but it's all right to be Laron Mapp.
That's right, because Kesey said you are definitely a legend.
Yo, that's my guy, man. That's come on, man. That's my guy, and it's just love, man. It's just love. It's just love. My guy, he knows how much I feel. He knows how I feel about him, man. For real. Word. It's all love. I can't tell you an enemy that I have, you know, because I just try to make the best out of every relationship, because life is short.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, for real, man, and especially with all this COVID and all this going on right now, man, just if you can impact the lives of anyone to make their lives better, I'm with that.
Yeah. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Question of the night. You talking down, saying you know, guys didn't have any stars, and you was the man, but you wasn't a star. All right, cool. Who else did you bust? And let's keep it real. We're not here to downplay anybody. Again, I like to say this again. I got my ass busted 3 times in my life. Mike Monson, Lloyd Daniels,
I
and
think
Anthony Mason.
I think the type of person I am, I can honestly say that I would feel more comfortable to talking about the game or where somebody put work in on me, because it didn't happen that often.
That's what I'm saying. You get my three? You get my all my years of playing, only 3 people. So it's cool. I can live with that.
I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Like every time I played against Eric Barkley, I wanted to show up. Every time I stepped on the court against Speedy Claxton, I wanted to show up. Every time. Every time. Those and for those 2 dudes to be two of the better guards that I ever played against, and for them to have an NBA career, you know what I'm saying? It said a lot about the level of basketball that the mid-90s had. The mid-90s level of basketball was that that class of 96 with Ray Allen and Nash and all those guys, and you know what I'm saying, just around that time, basketball was it was crazy, man. I could tell you in high school, I can't remember.
Bring the phone now, Matt.
Yeah, I can't more. I got better games in college. I had better games in college that I can sit back and tell you, I had game winners, where I had buzzer beaters, where
we gonna get there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for real. So I think high school coach didn't let us go a little bit. He didn't let us go. You know what I'm saying? We played like a Princeton style offense. Move the basketball, set good back screens, flash. I played a white guy kind of game. Fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? Shots off the backboard. You know what I mean? He had me doing that Dirk stuff before it was Dirk. But I really wasn't paying attention to it. Coach Curran was that far ahead of his time.
And it's crazy. It was the reverse, because in high school and prep school, we ran motion flash offense. Sometimes there was no offense as long as we was in unison together in the court with spread. And then get to college, we running robot offenses. Doesn't work. Now, what did you do right after college? I mean, right after high school, after Molloy? Did you go straight to SCSC? I see there was a 2-year.
Man. It was interesting. This is where the story gets good. You know what I'm saying? So basically, my senior year in Molloy, I was playing well. I was playing well enough to be all city, but not there. So I ended up being honorable mention all city. But what happened that most people might not know or don't know, but if you do know me and you're close to me, I was late to the city playoffs. We played against Cardinal Hayes, and they had Jeff Greer. He was tough. The Greer brothers, Ricardo and Jeff Greer. Ricardo Greer went to Pitt. Jeff Greer went to Rutgers. We played them in the quarterfinals at Manhattan College. And I was late to the team bus. And I got to Manhattan College late. And I got it when everybody was getting dressed, and coach sat me the first quarter. So we lost. And after that, you know what I mean? He put out there that I wasn't dedicated and committed. So I lost a large amount of scholarships. Word. So I ended up having to go to Dowling College, man, Division II. It was the most interesting, just humbling experience ever. Because I had dreams and visions of going high-level Division I, playing on ESPN. And I'm in the gym now with 100 people. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing in a gym that looked like a warehouse. For real. So it was humbling, My life took some ill turns from my senior year in high school to my freshman year in college. In the process, my man Curry B had got killed.
R.I.P.
Yeah, and they say death comes in threes, man. And my man Curdy B got killed. One of my best friends, Jermaine Brown, died in a car accident. And my grandmother died. So all that happened in the same year.
Wow.
Crazy. So going into Dowling, man, I was an angry dude. Think about it, man. You don't go from Molloy, have a 90 average, and go Division II to Dowling. That's not normal. You know what I'm saying? That's not normal.
Not knocking those who go that path, but
not at all.
not the career that you had.
It wasn't
not being the leading scorer at Molloy. That shouldn't have happened.
Back in those days, when you was all city honorable mention, you at least went Division I somewhere.
Facts.
Period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I went to Dowling College, and Joe Pelicane, you know, shout out to Joe Pelicane, man. He gave me a chance, man. And you know, he was honest and open with me, and he was like, you know, I know you feel as though you don't belong here, and I know this might be humbling for you, but while you're here, make the most of it and just give us your all, and I'm not going to take nothing less. So I respect it, you know. But for people who think that Division II is just lunch meat, man, they crazy, man. They crazy,
real crazy. I know.
It's some great players on the D2 level that just. Everybody can't play Division I, man. Everybody can't. Only 1% of the people make it. Only 1%. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy that, you know, I went to Dowling, and I went there for 2 years. The first year, it was great. You know what I'm saying? I even though I didn't want to be there, I played like I knew I was Division I. And, but something happened in my freshman year. You know, and I end up having to withdraw from school in the second semester. So yeah, so my life kind of took a turn from there.
What? And I'm not talking about the incident. What did going to Dowling teach you, besides humbling you?
It taught me that nothing in life is guaranteed, man. And it was just, you know, from playing on a team with every player on my team went Division I in AAU for Riverside. I played on that team with Ron Artest and Eric Barkley and Elton Brand. And, you know, just being the only dude from that class that didn't go Division I then at that time, yo, it was like, man, I couldn't face nobody in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like a failure. I felt like I was a disappointment, not just to myself, but to my friends and my family. But there was someone who told me that I wasn't ready for Division I, and I didn't believe him. You know what I'm saying? And he told me, yo, if you work on your game another year or so and work on your mental approach, you can definitely play Division I. But I didn't want to listen to that. I ain't hear that. So,
you know, a lot of our athletes, former athletes, ball players, go through a lot of mental trauma after the game is over, or if they don't make it to the level that they feel they should have made it. I've heard some stories, and some that was told on here. I'm gonna use an example. Ephraim Whitehead, my guy, I watched Ephraim come up. Ephraim kept it 100. He was like, yo, G, after the game was over and I didn't, you know, get drafted to go to the league, became suicidal. You know, and who would think? Great player, great high school career, great college career, and feel this way about themselves, right? But for him to overcome that, and where he's at now, great professional, coaching kids and sending them to college, I think that's an awesome turnaround. But we got to check ourselves and say, you know what? I've done that, all that I can do, no matter what the circumstances. Some of us get raw deals. It happens, part of life. How you bounce back and get a second shot. How did you get to SCSU?
It don't happen often. It doesn't happen to everybody.
You quit and you stay in the hood and feel sorry for yourself.
And what a lot of people don't know, and only my close friends know this, is that when the situation happened at Dowling, I went to York College for a semester. I went to York College. So I went from being being recruited, highly recruited to go mid-major Division I, low major, mid-low major Division I, to being in York College Division III. You know what I mean? Playing rec ball with DJ Clue. You know what I'm saying? And my guys over there, man. Shout out to Coach Billy Turnage, man, from Wings Academy, man. He was there.
No doubt.
He know
Sure.
he know the real. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't happen to everybody. And I think a lot of times when we get those opportunities, we don't take full advantage of them. I think that's why my story is somewhat unique, because it's full of peaks and valleys that you couldn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying?
How did you get to SCSU?
After the second year at Dowling, well, what happened after the first year was I actually went back to Dowling for the second year.
Okay.
You know, after what happened in the incident that happened there, my mom, I owed it to myself and to my mom to go back and finish the right way. She said, you don't have to graduate from there, but just show them that that's not the person that you were. And that, you know, everybody in life makes mistakes and you learn from your mistakes, but I want you to go back. So I went back, and that year was awkward, just an awkward year. And the reason why I say that is because it was, I knew in my heart I didn't want to be there. And I felt that the longer I stayed there, the further and further away of my goal of being Division I player was. I wasn't going to be able to reach that. So me and my man Black one day at my crib, we took we took a hat, we put some schools in a hat, we shook the hat up, and we picked 3 schools out of a hat. I swear to God, no lie. We picked 3 schools out of the hat. The one school we picked was Jackson State in Mississippi. The other school, and all the schools were HBCUs. One was North Carolina A&T, and the third one was South Carolina State. So we wasn't going to go to A&T because my man Maine had just passed away, and he was a student there. So we wasn't going to go there.
Right.
And Jackson State was Mississippi, so I really wasn't digging that. But South Carolina State had a little bit of a look to it. You know what I'm saying? It had a little bit of a look to it. So we decided to fill it out. Plus, I had some in-state relatives, so it ended up working itself out. It was pretty cool.
So there's an article about you guys.
Yeah.
You know that? I'm going to post it. There's an article about you guys coming down there together.
Yo, it's crazy. So when I got down there, I didn't have a scholarship.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go Division II to Division I, for most athletes do notice, when you go upper level, you have to sit out a year. So going to South Carolina State, of course, I had no guaranteed scholarship, no nothing. So what I did was, I put on a shirt and tie, and I walked into the office of the coach, Cy Alexander, and I gave him, a folder with my resume in it, and asked him if there's an opportunity for me to earn a scholarship. He said he don't have any scholarships available. There's really nothing that he can guarantee me. The only thing that he can tell me is that his guys do have open rec at the gym every once in a while, and you're welcome to come down and play with them, if you know what I'm saying, and get in some rec with them. But I can't guarantee you anything. Once again, I was angry as shit again.
Yo, hold on. Yo, fam. A light should have went off. He said there's open rec. This opportunity. So you coming from where I come from, the switch went on. So I went in there and I looked for the head dog. I looked for who was the dog. And I attacked the dog. And I turned that open rec into something else. You know what I'm saying? So no, I went after my guy, man. My guy Vincent Witt, man. He was that dude at the time. He just transferred from Clemson. And him and I during the rec, we got into it. But you ain't gonna get into it with nobody unless you putting in that work. So, we both was going back and forth at each other. And we almost came to blows, and they threw me out. They threw me out the gym. Because he was the dude, he was on scholarship. Right. Some guy on the campus. And here I come, a street thug from New York City, trying to talk shit. They threw me out the office. So I'm saying, so I'm walking up the hill to head back to my apartment, and the assistant coach started driving past me and was like, yo, nah, you need to go to that office over there.
So when I went to the office, the head coach was in there. You know what I'm saying? And the head coach was like, yo, who the fuck are you to come into my school, do this type of shit, and da-da-da? Like, who you think you are, da-da-da-da-da? And I was like, he's like, but I liked it. You know what I'm saying? And I need that in my program. I can't offer you a scholarship this year, but I guarantee you'll have a scholarship next year.
That's what the guys in New York City do. Listen, man, you just need that door open a little bit.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get in.
And I came in to take spots, man. I came in to take somebody's spot. And I remember working in the kitchen with the fishnet on my head, with the jacket on every morning. We're serving grits and eggs to the ball players. Facts, every morning. Like, I'm going to bust your ass later. You want more grit? You want more bacon? Facts. On my life, yo. I remember, because before I got the scholarship, they used to talk crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, yo, all right, watch. I'll see you tonight. And I used to dog them all the time to where the team became, where I became one of the leaders of the team. You know what I'm saying? So that was the transition from Molloy to South Carolina State.
Dope. That's definitely, man. That's awesome right there, man. For sure. That's dope. So, let me see where we at. So what year are you in now? Did you do a year at your college, or you just finished up there?
I did a semester there. I did a semester there, and from there, that's when I went to South Carolina State. Because I just took a couple of classes at York, and then from there, in that fall, I transferred over to South Carolina State. But my last level of play was at Dowling, so I had to still
bring the phone down some.
Yeah. So now I'm in my junior year now, South Carolina State. Of course, you get 5 years to play for, so I still got 2 years left. And now we rolling. You know what I'm saying? We rolling. We in first place. We rocking and rolling. And it's one of those things where we got 6 guys average double figures. The highest guy was my man, of course, V. Witt. You know, putting in about 16, 17 a game. But the coach wouldn't start me. He would bring me off the bench. He would start this lineup that was 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". But then after 2 or 3 minutes, he would sub me in right away. Like, just for the optic of, we start a big-ass lineup. But,
right.
But would sub me in right away, and we would go from there. But the last home game of my junior year, we were in first place, and I got my jaw broken in 7 places. I caught an elbow from a big man from Morgan State, and I was out for the rest of the season. So we ended up losing in the championship game to Hampton that year, and Hampton that year beat Iowa State. That's the year they beat Mel.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So you know, it was crazy because I was really playing my best basketball, and I really had the team going, and I really debated on whether or not I should play, even though you know, I had the protective thing on my face, but I just couldn't live with the fact that if something was to happen to me, you know what I'm saying, I'd be messed up forever. So I just chose to play. So wow. You know, that's still a decision that I regret, but you know what I'm saying, I can understand as I'm older now. You know what I'm saying, I don't even know if I'll be able to have a conversation with you if something would have happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So yeah. It's all good.
That's right. Y'all want to give a shout out to my guy BG. You know what I'm saying? He definitely on here. LES Express.
BG, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Don DeMarco, what up, my guy? What's going on?
Oh man, that's my dude.
My guy Dwayne coming back on here. All right, Jaleel Tripp, what up?
DC.
Getting you on here, definitely, man. Listen, we're moving. Bring the phone down some. Yeah. Okay. We're moving into season 2. We're wrapping up season 1. I think this will be show 97. I think there's 3 more shows to go before the end of season 1. That'll be my 100th show. and I got a very special guest. I'm not gonna let out the bag yet, but definitely worth it. So you get your jaw broke. How did you end your senior year?
My senior year was crazy because I had some ups and downs. I didn't play too consistent, but I had some game winners. I had some.
Let's talk that talk, fam. Let's talk that talk.
I had some game winners, man. But I really didn't have the best year in order for me to move to the next level. You know what I'm saying? To have a great opportunity to move to the next level.
All right, that's cool. Let's talk about this game winner, fam. You kind of rushed right through that.
So
give me one of them. Give me one of them.
All right. Norfolk State. Down by 2. I say 30 seconds to go. You know, none of the plays in college, none of the plays were for me. But right. Sometimes you just feel as though you just want to do what you got to do when duty calls. So this one right here though was crazy because my man made a great move. We actually was holding for the last shot. We was gonna go into overtime. My man made a great move, got to the basket, missed the layup. I guess the big fella tipped it out. I'm standing almost near the half court line, like 30 feet. That shit just tips out right to me. I just step right into it. Money ball game. You know what I'm saying? And then just run out the arena. Just run straight out. Just run straight out.
Yo, what is that like? Listen, people, if you never experienced that, that is like the greatest feeling. The greatest feeling. You ran out the gym. You were out of the arena.
Just ran.
What, were you home or away? Were you home or away?
Away.
Oh, perfect.
Away.
That's perfect.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how you end it.
Word.
You don't steal their court. You just let them see the ball go through the net and you leave.
You know what I'm saying? And then I ran. It was one of those things where you run past your teammates. you just run past them, like you just meet them in the locker room, like yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk.
In a senior season of a lot of ups and downs, that was definitely one of the high moments that I had in that season.
Wow. Let me write this. K-Sun to Dawn. I'm going to play Division I because of you, Coach Matt.
That's what's up, man.
Salute. That's real talk right there. I'd like to give a shout out to Karen Miller for sure.
That's what's up, man. That's my guy, man. K-Son, a hard-working young fella, man. For real, I appreciate that. That's all love.
Oh, man.
That's all love, man.
That's dope, man. I like to hear that. So, do you think more high-profile student athletes should go to historically black colleges?
I think absolutely. I think it's all about the optics, you know. If it takes someone to be the trendsetter, it takes a group to do it. It's not going to happen with one. It's going to take 5 kids or 5 guys that's the top players that maybe came from the same AAU team or the same program, and they all take that entire program to one university or college and do it from there. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take a group of friends to just do it, you know, and win. And win. We
can start spreading the word now. Y'all hear that? 5 guys. No. 5 guys. You guys come up together, play AAU together. Y'all go on a circuit. Y'all work out together, and y'all make that y'all dream. And y'all open the door. Y'all kick the door open down for everybody else. Because the other night, I seen Richmond kick Kentucky ass.
Easy.
So now it's becoming parable. Like the mid majors and the high majors, it's not going to be any more of that.
I think
it's going to be college basketball.
I think part of it though too is also a lot of the mid majors don't have pros.
One and done. They have to stay there for a year. Yeah, you get grown men.
And you can't undervalue. Remember, we talked about playing against your older brother, playing against your uncles. You know, sometimes your uncle might be 2 years older than you. He might be 3 years older than you. Just that experience alone is different. And you have those younger guys who come in and they're just phenom, they're special. But
Yep.
you have a lot more of those younger guys who really, it takes them time for their bodies to adjust and for them to adjust to the game. Every level of basketball is an adjustment. Every level. And that's why the numbers get smaller and smaller as you go along. Because not everyone's able to make the right adjustments to play the game. You know? And that's why having a great fundamental base of not just skill set, but work ethic and demeanor and just your mind frame, all that plays a role in your longevity as an athlete, all of it.
Imagine being one of the best players in the country. Come out, get drafted in the first round. And the coach puts you in the last minute of the game and want to see you play hard. You either get off the bench and run to the table like you want to play. You sit there in your feelings and you sulk, right? And you don't be a professional, which you should be. Or you just don't go in the game, right? Those last two choices, it's not going to work.
No, not at all.
That shouldn't even be a choice. Because once you get to that level, can't they put you in with 10 seconds left? You got to run to the table like your life depends on it.
And then the funny thing about it is, you know, we don't teach that. You know, that's not something that's taught. You know, we expect young players to develop character. We expect young players to develop the right label of accountability and being responsible and being a part of a team.
Yeah.
So if you know your role and you do what you got to do, you're fine.
Thanks. How was your time overseas? Where did you play? Where did you play?
All right. So the transition from South Carolina State to overseas. After my senior.
Okay, I hear you now.
But I really didn't have, you know, no offers to go to any camps or anything like that. So, and this is for the kid who has big dreams. When you play this game and you play it all your life and you do it as hard as you can and you give it your all, and you get to a certain point to where you feel as though you can't go any further, it's humbling.
Yes.
It's humbling, and it's the hardest dose of reality you ever would have to face or you would ever want to face. And like you said, a lot of people don't prepare for it. A lot of people can't handle it. And a lot of people have been lied to or were lied to for their whole life. The one thing that helped me was I never had anybody tell me that I was going to be this and I was going to be that. I never really had that. I never had the expectations of, yo, you're going to be a draft pick or this and that. No, I always from day one had to prove myself. So that never stopped. So after South Carolina State, I just felt as if though, yo, I want to do it. I want to make it. I want to know what it feels like to be a pro. So, and most guys who really chase that dream of basketball, they know what I'm talking about. You go to all these different workouts. You at every gym, you in every rec league. You make sure, right? Repeat this. You make sure you show up for the big games in the Rucker leagues, in the Dykeman's, in the pro cities. You fucking make sure you show up. You know what I'm saying? And you got your best game on. You try to have your best game on. And, you know, even though there was times where I felt as though I outplayed certain players or I really had a great performance or I really showed that I was capable of playing at the next level, those opportunities never came. They never came. So, you know, building relationships is important.
Yes.
So when people see your grind and people see how hard you work and people see how hard you want it, they're good. You know, someone's going to give you an opportunity somewhere. So one day I happened to go to a workout in Jersey. It was a bunch of old NBA guys, ex-NBA guys, overseas guys. And one of the guys who were there was Wendell Alexis. You know basketball and you from New York City, you know Wendell Alexis, Hall of Famer from Christ the King. And Wendell Alexis is the person who gave me my opportunity. He saw me playing in open rec and was like, yo, what are you doing with yourself, man? Like, yo, you really can play. And I was like, I'm just trying to get an opportunity, you know? Asked me if I had a passport. And I was like, yeah. You know, I didn't have an agent. You know? So a lot of this was just me and Wendell having conversation. So he took my phone number down and said, yo, one day I'm going to call you. And if and when I call you, be ready. I can't tell you when that's going to be. But just stay in the gym, stay active, and stay ready. Yo, that call came, bro. That call came. And when the call came, he was like, yo, are you ready? And I was like, hell yeah. And he was like, all right, this is the situation. You're going to go to Dusseldorf, Germany. You're going to leave from Newark Airport. When you get there, there's going to be somebody there, you know, with your name, a sign, and you know, you go from there, and they're going to take you right to the complex, and you sign your contract, and you go from there. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I was breathtaking, man. I didn't even know what to say. I was stuck. I was dumbfounded. I didn't believe it was real until he sent me my ticket. When I got to, you know, when I got to the airport, I remember, you know what I mean, kissing my mom and being proud, like, yo, mom, I'm actually going to play professional basketball. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's surreal from everything that I've been through. So if anybody knows an overseas flight to a minimum of 6 hours, minimum.
Facts.
So, you know, when you get off the plane, you go through customs, everything is good. You know, you go to get your bag, everything is good. But then, of course, remember when you're in the international, you got to get your passport stamped, and then from the stamp you go through the glass. You never go through the glass and then the stamp. So everything is good, man. I get my stamp, man. I'm good. You know, they ask me what I'm here for. I'm telling them and you know, I'm excited. I get off the plane. I go get my bags. Everything is good. I'm going, and you know, I see everybody with the signs, and then five minutes went past.
I thought you was gonna be like Matt.
10 minutes went past.
Jeez.
Bro, it was like a movie. After 30 minutes, I was there by myself.
Look, it's not like you in South Carolina, North Carolina.
I'm in
LA.
I'm in Germany, boss. I'm in Dusseldorf, Germany.
Who the fuck you going there?
And the reality is, they couldn't get in contact with me because I was on the plane, but they signed somebody the day before. So they couldn't get in contact with Wendell.
They try to get in contact with you until you don't come?
They tried to get in contact with Wendell, but they couldn't get in contact with him neither. So when I got out there, it wasn't funny, bro. I was out there with nothing. So for every kid who dreams about you finally get a chance to make it, they finally say, yo, you're gonna sign a contract and you're gonna be a professional basketball player. You pack your bag, you get on the plane, you get all the way on the plane, you take the whole ride over there, you go across seas where you don't speak the language and you don't do anything, and no one is there.
Sorry, my G.
Ain't nothing to be sorry about. Kids need to hear my story. People need to know that it's real. People need to know where this passion comes from.
Facts.
The average person doesn't know this about me. Chances are, they still won't. But for the people who are here, who are watching and listening, there's a kid somewhere who has big dreams, and I want them to know that, yo, everything doesn't happen easy. So I'm there, and the story gets deeper because think about it. When you come home from college, what's one thing you don't have? A job. What's the one thing that you have is big dreams. What's the one thing that you don't have is big pockets. Why? Because you're chasing this basketball dream. So you don't think you don't think getting a job is worth it. So for every person who knows, who understands what I'm talking about, man, you know what I'm talking about. You didn't want to go get no job. You was naive to think like, yo, nah, I'm gonna make it. And that was me. So when I went out to Germany, I didn't need any money. I was about to sign a contract. What I needed money for? I had $100 bill, $100 bill, one. I had one. I'll never forget. I had one $100 bill. And when I finally got in contact with Wendell, you know, he was so apologetic. He was so, you know, like, yo, you want to come home? And I was like, nah, man, I want to, I can do it. Like, I can do it. And he was like, well, I can't guarantee you nothing, but I know someone. I know someone who's an agent, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I can see, you know what I mean, if he can get you a tryout or something like that. Man, it was a guy named Dean Valler in Germany. And he was a small-time agent. And, you know, he had some mid-level overseas players and some Americans. And he was in Osnabrück, Germany, which was about 100 kilometers from Dusseldorf. When I exchanged my money from United States money to euros, I got 76 euros. The train from Dusseldorf to Osnabrück was 76 euros. When I took the train, I got on the train, I literally had no money. I had nothing to eat. I had nothing. I had nothing. But you could not tell me that I was not going to make it. You could not tell me that I wasn't going to make it. I didn't know where I was going to sleep. Dean said I could sleep on his couch. I slept on his couch. Guys who played overseas and don't have this whole big, great fucking lollipop merry-go-round type of story. There's many stories of the grit and grind. You know what I'm saying? So after I get to Dean's house, I'm over. There's that chip again. There's that same South Carolina chip. There's that same I was at Dowling chip. You know what I'm saying? Word. There was that same I got to show up against the best guards in the country every night. That was on my mind. So every tryout that Dean got for me, I play out of my mind. But remember, now you playing pro basketball. The money got to be right. But they knew that I wasn't coming from a big school. They knew I didn't have a big resume. So they offer you pennies. So I never forget, man. I signed for, I think it was my first contract. Oh, man. It was $2,000 a month plus $100 win bonus plus a apartment and a car. And every time we would win, my money would go up and up and up. Man, it wasn't nothing that I dreamed of. It wasn't nothing that you dream about when you're young and when you're shooting in your backyard or you go to the park and, you know what I'm saying? You see the commercials, but you couldn't tell me I wasn't a pro. You couldn't tell me I didn't make it. When I finally signed my first contract, I knew that I wasn't going to be remembered as a basketball player. I knew that. I knew that making millions of dollars playing basketball would not be my calling. I realized that. I realized it. When I got over there, I loved teaching the game. You know, I would go to hospitals and visit kids less fortunate and visit kids with terminal illnesses and disabilities. And I would run my own youth program And I enjoyed that more than I did playing. I kind of just started showing up to the games. Everything else, philanthropic, that I was doing out there really kind of meant more to me. So I kind of just started to realize it, and then the business aspect of it came in. I got released like in my second year, my third year, I got released. You know what I'm saying? And I went from, if you know about being overseas, you know the different levels and the leagues. You go from the first league to the second division to the regional league to, you know what I'm saying, to the Uberliga. Yeah, man, it's crazy. I ended up getting more money. I played in second division Germany, second division, Pro B. I made more money in the fifth division than I made in the second. Why? Because the fifth division, well, the fourth, going into the fifth. The fourth league, they needed to stay up. They didn't want to get relegated. So they were second to last place. And if they lost any one more of their games, they would be relegated. They would have to move down. So they would lose thousands of dollars in sponsors. Easy. I made almost quadruple the money 3 divisions lower.
Wow.
It was crazy. So I end up saying to myself, like, yo, do I want this life? Do I really want this? I had a daughter who was in New York City at the time, and she was going through some stuff. And, you know, I had to make a real decision, you know? So I decided that, you know, coming home, you know, you still play semi-pro ball with the opportunity to try to get back across the water. But when you over there, the best thing to do is stay there. If you want to keep playing. If you don't want to keep playing, then you come back. And if you got a good agent or something like that, you have an opportunity, then that's something different. But for the most part, nah. So, yeah, that's what happened, man.
That's crazy, man, because I'm going to go back to your intro, man, because, wow, I wrote this without even meeting you. What did I say? Say at SCSU, he had a good career and was able to grow as a man. These qualities will prepare him to play and thrive overseas as a professional athlete. And I knew nothing about what you just told me, brother.
Crazy, right?
Your story is amazing. It's crazy. It's crazy. And your cousin didn't tell me any of this. So this is breaking news to me. Touched a lot of guys and women who are on here tonight. And youngsters, man. So just keep doing what you're doing, man, because you are definitely doing the right thing.
And first of all, I appreciate you for, like I said, for having me here, man. And I'm not a role model. I'm a real model. Real talk. And I want kids to know that if you play this game long enough and you give it your all, it's gonna hurt when you're 40.
Talk. Take it to church.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to know that yo, there's only 1% of us who make it. 1%. If I gave you anything in life and I gave you 1% of it, you wouldn't want it. You wouldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? And then that's division 1. Less than 1% of us make it overseas for whatever level you play on. So I commend and I respect every person, every athlete who's made that journey and who's going through some sort of adversity. I respect you, and I mean that. You know what I'm saying? There's guys who can speak to more stats. There's guys who can speak to, you know, a better lifestyle. But I'm rich in my experiences. I'm rich in my knowledge, and I train as though, I teach the game as though. I don't take nothing for granted. You know what I'm saying? I know how to I know how to make myself into a pro. And part of my, you know, my thing now with everything with basketball and just everything with the COVID is, how are you going to be better from this now? with everything going on with society how it is, it's easy for us to make excuses and for us to fall to the wayside. And we got to be strong now, you know. So if my story is an example of anything, is an example of it, you don't have to make the NBA to be a pro, and you don't have to have millions of followers and have millions of views to touch lives. And for real, man. So just having the opportunity to share my story with people, I appreciate you, you know, because it's not ended. It hasn't ended yet. It still is only getting better.
Oh, for sure. We only halfway through, right? So I speak to a lot of guys about that transition from basketball to the real world, how difficult it could be or not. Some guys have a different transition than others. How was your transition from leaving ball to the real world?
It was painful. It was painful. And every ball player who did this for a while and did this with big hopes and dreams, you've had those sleepless nights. You had those nightmares. You had them. You can't shake them. If basketball mean anything to you, you 40 and you still wake up sometimes in a cold sweat because you made a game-winning shot. And your wife or your girlfriend might wake up next to you, be like, "Yo, what's wrong with him?" It's still in you. It's in us.
Facts.
So
Facts.
the transition is the hardest thing. Yo, for real, when an athlete dies 2 deaths. Facts.
That's so real.
An athlete dies 2 deaths, man. So, and a lot of us, you know, we're not honest with ourselves.
Facts.
We're not honest with ourselves. We lie to our friends, we lie to our people, but more important, we lie to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't want to let go because basketball is all we know. You know, or basketball is all we've done. Not all we know, but all we've done and all we've given our life to. Imagine you give your whole life to something and you don't make it. That doesn't mean you're a failure.
Facts.
So that's what I want the advocate to do.
Yeah, can you say that again? Because I'm not exaggerating, bro. We have a lot of ball players out here right now who are going through that exact thing that you're talking about right now.
It's imagine giving your life to something every day and then realizing to a point to where people don't consider you good enough to do it anymore. It's painful. It's embarrassing. It's humbling. But you're not a failure. You didn't lose. You actually are a winner because you gave it your all and you went as far as you can. The worst thing you can have in life is regret. Yo, I wish I would have ran 1,000 more sprints, but maybe my other hit would be done, not just one of them. I wish I would have listened. I wish I would have listened to this person or that person, but you know, we all make our own path. I just think that kids nowadays, kids don't have the foundation to succeed. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I started my company called Hill Valley Sports Training after playing, was because, you know, you have so many kids who are really talented but don't have the mental approach to handle the game. You said you have some kids who are not talented at all and have all the smarts but don't want to put the energy and effort into being great. You know, that's why we marvel at certain athletes, because when they can put it all together, you look different. You know what I'm saying? That's why we marvel at it. But someone told me this, man, and it stands with me, and I try to live by it every day. You know, and I hope that if someone's listening, they'll really take to what I'm about to say. They said the successful ones are remembered for their accomplishments. The failures are remembered in life for their disappointments. But the average individual in life is just plain forgotten about. Ask yourself in life, are you average? Think about it. In school, we focus on the kids who make the honor roll, or we focus on the kids who do horrible. Those kids in the middle, they get the C's and the B minuses, we just leave them alone. We don't even focus on them.
They're invisible.
Think about it. In sports, we focus on the teams that do great, and we focus on the teams that fail horribly. We very rarely care about anybody in the middle of the pack. You can't remember who finished place in the Kentucky Derby, who finished in 5th place in the Kentucky Derby. It'll never matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So in life, if you go about your life in an average way and don't do things to be great, you know, that doesn't necessarily make you a failure. You're just lost in the middle. And a lot of people, especially in this game of basketball, they get lost in the middle.
Yes. There are way more guys that get lost in the middle than guys who turn out to be great or have great careers. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And I know that there's gonna be guys who you interview, man, and that come on your show and you know that's gonna have so many more accolades and so many more accomplishments. And yo, bro, I'm humble, but I know the one thing is that I'll put myself in front of anybody, and I'll put my training methods and my style up against anybody, because I think the experiences that I've had are rich and vast. And not everyone who played the game can teach the game.
That's super church right there. My guy, Mark Petit, good friend of mine for years. He said, Matt is the man in the basketball community. Facts.
Coach Mark, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Boys and girls. He was at Boys and Girls with me, man. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Now, you was coaching girls, right?
Yeah. So after I stopped playing, I always loved to teach the game. And Bernard Gasaway, Principal Gasaway, gave me an opportunity to come into Boys and Girls. And that was at the time where Coach Lovelace had she had like a super team with Mike Taylor and Leroy Flood and my little point guard, young Antoine Slaughter.
Yeah. I just put him up today, yeah.
But there was another guy who really stood out from that team that I really fell in love with, and was Bryce Jones. He was one of the key pieces in that team. And
my boy
I really saw that the girls program, you know, while they had a good coach, it was just struggling at the time. So I decided to take the program on and just, you know, try to give the program an identity and a culture, establish a culture of winning. Could never be a Ruth Lovelace, man. Shout out to Coach Lovelace, man. She's a legend, you know, but I try to do my best to put boys and girls high school basketball on the map. You know?
For sure. They said before you got there, it was lacking a lot of maturity, right? And taking the game serious, and then you came and brought a different aspect there. Yeah, I read that article too.
And I think winning does that. Success does that.
Yeah.
But also, man, the one thing I took pride in is that every girl had over an 85 average on my team, and
wow.
had a 100% graduation rate. So I know every young lady who I've coached, and I think that's part of the reason why I decided to stop coaching high school basketball, was because I kind of felt as though I couldn't reach as many kids as I wanted to. I started to train the girls, and I started to train the players we were playing against. And my boys and girls used to be filled with players from South Shore, players from different schools. You know, They was coming to work out with me, and their coaches knew, and I loved it, and I enjoyed it, and it was fun. So I think for me, that's what made me really want to go into training. You know? Wow.
My God, Dwayne Cumberbatch said you won the chip with the girls at 72.
Middle school. Yes. D. Cumberbatch, man. Allen AME Church, man. He's one of the best guys ever, man.
Oh, for sure. My school plays in his league. Yeah, good guy.
Love that.
And I used to work at Allen Christian School for a year as well. Nice.
That's what's up, man. Cumberbatch, man. I remember he first started that program, man. He just got it off the ground, man, and to see where it is now, man. He's one of the great dudes in the world, man. Forget about New York City. So what's up, D?
That's right. It's my guy. So look, I coached girls one time, and it was this past summer at my guy Mo Kirby's Memorial Day celebration, and I coached him for a half. And it was like one of the greatest experiences I had coaching. I've been coaching over 20 years. Boys, you know, middle school, public, elementary, and high school for like the last 15. But coaching the girls was something special. And these girls were very good. And they were way more skilled than the girls I remember seeing coming up. I just was blown away. And they were 9th and 10th graders, right? What was it like for you, right? What was the best thing about coaching girls?
The best thing about coaching girls was that I never had to draw up alley-oop plays. You know what I'm saying? And even though I never drew up alley-oop plays, I still drew up alley-oop plays. You know,
you can tap it in.
But if you understand what I'm saying, it's
for sure.
It's a beautiful game. I have 2 daughters. My daughter Naya, she's 22, and my daughter Layla, she's 12. My daughter Layla plays now, and Naya played a little in high school. And from there, I just, you know, I was already partial to young ladies, and you know, just you don't get an opportunity to coach a varsity AA school.
That's right.
You don't get that opportunity often, and coaching girls was tough in the beginning because you have your it's different when you yell and you scream, and it just might not work with certain young ladies.
No.
So I had to make sure that I had a wonderful female staff members to have that motherly balance or that sisterly balance. And I was fortunate at Boys and Girls to have Mama G with me, Miss Gaston, that's Bryce's mom.
Listen, I'm telling you, that's my guy's woman. I'm telling you, my guy Todd.
Todd, that's my brother right there, man.
That's one of my best friends in the world. Yes,
so we family already, man.
Fam. Yup.
So Mama G is that she is. I don't even want to. I can't even tell you how important she is to me, and what Todd and that family, what they mean to me, and I love them so much. Just Bryce and Brent and Brielle, that whole family. And I told her I couldn't take the job without her. You know, I would not take the job without her. And she's now become a basketball savant in the city. You know what I'm saying? Mama G.
Let me tell you something. She's at the games and she knows.
She knows.
I get the red carpet treatment when the boys side game come, when the games is back, she be like.
And I couldn't talk about Boys and Girls High School without mentioning my guy, Coach Barkley. You know what I'm saying? Charles Johnson, man, he was my assistant coach, my associate head coach. He was my brother. Every day together we was there. And also Damaris Dunn. She was the junior varsity coach. Young Dunny, what I call her. She's such a powerful young lady. And she taught me so much about not just being a better coach, but being a better friend and a better mentor and being a better leader. You know, so I owe a lot of my success at that school to them, and I could never take all the credit for anything that I did without them.
No doubt. Can you give some advice to young people out there who might give up on their dreams because they're not highly recruited?
Times are different. The best marketer is you. And I'm not talking about marketing where you just put up fake highlight videos of yourself. Because highlights don't tell it all. You know, the worst thing is when you see a kid put up all these great highlights and then you watch him play and you can't see none of those highlights.
Facts.
So what I would tell young people is learn the system. Learn how to market yourself. I'm now fortunate and blessed to be the director of basketball operations for EEP basketball. EEP is a law firm that is one of the most powerful law firms of personal injury and civil rights in the country. I'm blessed and honored to work for them and to be a part of that organization. And I think it allows me to do what I love to do, which is teach the game of basketball, help my fellow people, and really just make a unbelievable source of network and just build relationships that hopefully can last a lifetime. And that's what this game does for you. So if you're playing basketball to be a pro, kudos to you, man. Trust and believe. Chase your dream. For real, man. Like, chase your dream and just go about it the right way.
Yes.
Know the ins and outs of what you need to know. You know what I'm saying? Don't just fall into to anything that you hear, anything that you believe, just because you believe it to be true. Do your research on it. You know, nowadays you don't need an agent. You don't need an agent. With advances in technology and email, you can be your best marketer. You can be your best agent. But if you definitely need somebody, please holler at me. I got you.
Definitely.
You know what I'm
Definitely.
Yeah, man, and just never give up, man. Just never give up.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, I put up a post today where a guy was training a kid. He had him running around in the tire, running around with a rope around him while a guy hit him with pads and him dribbling with one hand going around the tire.
Well, here's what I would say to that. There are so many ways. If you can understand how to make the connection, I think the most
A few people did, but it just look, when you get a chance, check it out.
I definitely will, and I think for me, I've used unconventional style. I've used unconventional methods of training at times, just to try to, I guess, keep myself engaged and keep myself on my toes, and you know, and you never, basketball is so real. You never know what to expect in a game.
Right.
So
right.
I think the best trainers or the best teachers of the games are the guys and females who can leave a little bit of element of surprise in their workouts. But if you're going to do stuff like that, make sure the kid or the athlete understands the why.
Right. I didn't get the why.
A lot of people don't understand.
Hold on. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Hold on. You see that? You have to make it bigger. You see it?
Yeah, I see it. Now,
he got a rope. He got a rope pulling him. He got somebody beating him with a pad, and he's dribbling high as hell, trying to keep. Well, you see?
It's a guy like that. I would say he means well. you know what I'm saying? Like you really, everybody, you watch all these trainers, you watch all these teachers of the game, you watch all these videos, and you know, there's some of them, man, they're really dope. There's some that are really dope, and then there's some guys who you be like, you know what, that kid will never do that in the game. That's not that kid's skill set. You know, that's not what his makeup is, or in reality, that's not what the coach is going to have him doing.
Right.
So a lot of, you know, and my thing is, what's your basketball pedigree or resume? You know what I'm saying? How do you become validated to teach the game? And some people just put effort in and just learning and studying it. And you don't have to be a player to learn and study the game to teach it the right way.
Facts.
Some of the best coaches in the world didn't play basketball.
Facts.
But they learned how to play. And some of the worst coaches in the world were some of the best players ever.
Magic Johnson.
So that just because, like I said before, you can play doesn't mean you can coach. Just because you can coach doesn't mean that you know how to play. But, you know what I'm saying? So it's to each his own, man. It's to each his own. But New York City is in a struggle right now.
Yes.
New York City is not the melting pot of basketball the way it used to be. New York City as a whole, we're far below where I feel we should be. And a lot of that is because we don't teach the game anymore. You
get a whole bunch of good players, you put them together, and it becomes an AAU team in high school.
And what happens is now is because kids are they're better, they're a little bit more athletic. Their fundamental skill set or their toolkit is missing, is lacking.
Yeah.
So when they get to the next level, if you notice something, the better New York players leave New York.
Yeah. This is why, if you notice, I've been posting lately, New York City great. Like a lot of the people I've been posting lately, all left New York City. My guy's son is one of them.
Yeah,
Khalil Smith. He was at Nazareth. When Tiny left, he went to the Catholic, Newark, the school in Jersey, Hudson Catholic.
Yeah, Hudson Catholic.
And now he's at Springfield Commonwealth. This kid is 6'8", smooth, can shoot it, dribble, dunk on your head. He's gone.
Well, but my thing is, who are the legitimate teachers or teachers of the game in New York City? Like, for real, man. You know, a shout out to. I learned a lot from Jerry Powell. I
posted him today too.
I learned a lot from Jay Hernandez. You know, I learned a lot from just watching great players do the little things. For real. I took pride in, when I was young, I worked for Slam Magazine. And I would work at, different basketball camps of high-level players, Paul Pierce and Shaquille O'Neal and Wally Zerbiak and these guys. And I would watch them work. And people be surprised, man. The average kid doesn't know how to get better. Yes. And the average coach doesn't know how to teach a kid how to get better. If you gave me and someone else the same level of kid, based on our upbringing and our experiences, we would teach that kid 2 different ways to play basketball.
Facts.
That doesn't make it better. It just makes it the way that you play them. So that's why kids should go to different trainers and kids should seek different opinions on the game, because the game is so vast. The more you know and the more you hear, the more you can decipher what's good and what's not.
Yeah, I put up a post today that read, it says, elite basketball players from the NBA down to the PSCL all work with personal trainers to improve. And I wrote on top, how important is the trainer today? And I'm talking about, there was some good comments. People were saying, the trainer's taking over. Then a lot of guys were saying, look, don't knock us when coaches are not teaching, right? So all the things that you're talking about now was in this conversation piece or this post that I put up. And you're saying all these things right now, and I don't even think you read the post.
It's crazy because I didn't, but great minds think alike. And when you understand this game and you got 2 eyes, you can see. And when you watch basketball and you see how bad, you can see a varsity basketball team look like a freshman team or a junior varsity team. It's disgusting. It really is. And I think, one of the things that I've done over the past couple of years is I volunteered my time for no money. And sometimes when you do that, people appreciate your effort. And I say that to say, I volunteered at USA Basketball. That's how I became a youth basketball coach. And I just took an opportunity and just went to Vegas. I just got on a plane and went to Vegas one day. And my thought process was, my dream has been to work for USA Basketball. It's been my goal since I've been young. And since I decided to really get into teaching the game, I feel as though I want to be on the highest level. And I feel as though it's not always how good you are, but it's who you know. And it's when you come across the right person and you get your right opportunity. And that's what our kids do this for. That's what we play for. If I told you play basketball for 15 years or for 20 years for only 15 minutes of opportunity, because that's all we get.
Yeah. Some less than that.
That's all we get. Some less than that. So what the differences in AAU is, those 15 minutes have now turned to 30 minutes. And those 30 minutes have now turned to an hour because now coaches have more access to you. You go to tournaments and tournaments are live streamed. So it doesn't matter if it's a pandemic or not. Coaches can see you. But now basketball is also oversaturated because you have so many AAU programs, kids are just playing. They're not being taught. So you got parents paying $600 to go to an AAU season, and the kid is playing in 4 or 5 tournaments. They might see one college coach at those tournaments, And that kid is losing by 30 and 40 points. But guess what? They get a Georgia Peach Jam T-shirt.
Maybe a pair of sneakers, a bag.
You know what I mean? They get a hoop group. They get a hoop group poster. You understand what I'm saying? So our kids are not learning enough, man. You know?
Yo, hold on. I'm going to take a pause in this because every chance I get, I want to make sure he understands. I don't care if he's listening or not. The guy who runs Hoop Group, Tiny Green, is my assistant coach in college. And I'm not going to make a whole story about him, but I heard he's still the same Tiny Green. But that's a whole nother story. Let's get back with you. I want to try to wrap this up, man, because, brother, I don't want to keep you on too long because we have more to go.
Hey, listen, man, I'm actually self-quarantined, man, so I don't really have anywhere to go. I'm pretty good, man. I'm good.
All right, cool.
You know?
All right, cool. You said that. Who is the best high school player, best college player, and best pro you ever played against? One each.
The best high school player that I ever played against was Wally Zerbiak. Word.
Me.
For ISA, he caught me for 40.
Woo.
But I mean, the Panthers that year, they had him, Elamine, they had Tavares Bell, Norris Bell, they had Big Ed Brown, they had Lamar. Yeah, that was a little bit different. So the best high school player that I ever played against was Wally Zerbiak, and really Eric Barkley. Eric Barkley was a dog. He was a dog, and he had one great fucking move. The in and out with the left hand. I'm telling you. And because
that's the boogie. That's that boogie hand. We all learned it from Pearl.
Because he was right-handed, that in and out with the left would kill people.
Yeah.
Word. So the best college player I ever played against. The best college player I ever played against. Well, shit. What's the name gave us 26 and 22? Drew Gooden.
Woo!
Yeah, we lost to Kansas that year. But you know who was really, really good? St. Joe's. Marvin O'Connor, Delonte West, and Jameer.
Yes.
That was one of the best games that I enjoyed playing against.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Absolutely.
And you already named a couple of pros already if you want to keep going. It's just
man. Nah, I mean, what's crazy too is once you get overseas, you see people from all over the world, and you be like, damn, where you from? You nice, God. Like, where you from? You from Oklahoma? Oh, shit. Like, word. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, I used to be amazed that, I used to always think that all the players that went overseas went from these high-level schools and from these big-time programs.
Not at all, no.
Fuckers from NAIA. That's another thing I want to tell kids, don't think that if you don't go Division I, your path is you can still make it. You can still make it. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, man, there's a way for all of them. There's a way. If you have it, they'll see you. They'll find you. Word.
Top 5 ball players in New York City history.
Top 5 ball players in New York City history. Kenny Anderson. Lloyd Daniels.
Sweet.
I'm oh my goodness. And you know what's crazy is that you can only really go of what you see.
Yeah, this is your 5. Nobody else.
Damn. I mean, top 5. I ain't gonna lie. I seen Skip to my Lou do some things. I can't leave Skip out.
Skip.
I can't leave Skip, man. That's my guy. Damn. Lamar. Listen,
finish your 5. Lamar was the reason, one of the reasons why I started this show. Facts.
was the first point forward I ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, at his size, running the point, and everybody was okay with it. You know? Word. And this might sound crazy, but Ed Booger Smith.
Nah, don't sound crazy, fam.
Ed Booger Smith, I seen him come to Queens and put a number on my gym one night.
Woo!
And I've never seen a player do what he did in a game. Like, I'll never forget that. And when I finally met him, and we were together this summer, and I was like, yo, man, when I was younger, I came to watch you play one night, and you destroyed, and he knew exactly the night I was talking about. And he was, yo, word. And yo, we had a drink right after that, and we took a photo, and it was dope, man. And I was like, yo, how's it feel knowing that you're one of the greatest players ever in the history of New York City? Like, how does that feel?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, yo, to be looked at in that manner. You know, I want to be remembered. You know what I'm saying? I always want to be that person that 100 years from now, yo, you remember Laron Mapp, you remember Coach Mapp, or you remember Mapp for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But just, I can imagine being remembered for your talent and your ability to just to be a marvel at what you do. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ed Booger Smith, Kenny Anderson, Skip the Malou, Lamar Odom. Man, I can go on.
And Lloyd Daniels, that's your five right there.
Sweet P. Daniels, man.
That's right. Mark said, Matt, Tim Thomas.
Tim Thomas is Jersey.
Tell him again.
Tim Thomas is Patterson Catholic, man.
We are strictly a New York City show. Mark know that.
City. Shout out to Tim Thomas, though, man. He was
no doubt.
Word. He was the first dude I seen throw it off the backboard in the game and catch it. Bang.
Wow.
Word.
Top 5 Queens ballers. Putting you on the spot now.
Yeah,
QB. That's right.
I named a couple of them in Queens.
Yeah, you did.
Yo, one of my top 5, listen here, man. I gotta go with my guy, man. Black Gold, man. Wes Nelson. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Black Gold. Wes Nelson was one of the best fucking guards ever out of Queens.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah. If people know, they know Wes. They know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Wes, man. Shout out to Wes.
Black Gold. I'm gonna write that name down, fam.
Facts.
That's gonna be one of the people you nominate.
Word, man. Shaheem Holloway.
Yes.
Man, of course, like I said, Kenny Anderson, Kenny Smith, Speedy Claxton. You know what I'm saying? Damn, man. I can go on and on, man. All of those dudes, man. All of those dudes are dudes that I really respect, and I really respected their game. And you know what I'm saying? I was motivated to either watch them play against them, or, you know what I'm saying, all those guys.
Last question.
I should have had the Hennessy for this. I should have had the Hennessy.
No.
I know we ain't drink champs. I know this ain't. I should have had the Henny with me. I mean, word. Nah,
last question. How good was your cousin?
Next question. Nah, I'm playing.
Yo, man. Take that next question.
Nah, that's my guy, man. Come on,
Coach Grammy. Yeah, Coach Grammy kid. So I know he was a baller.
Hard nose. A run through a wall for you. It's my guy, man.
And that's how he coached. He coaches like that too.
Yeah, I used to do that too. I'm trying to evolve. You know, my next realm of coaching, I don't want to do too much yelling. I don't want to do
right.
You know, I want to give the kids exactly what they need. Be stern, but be fair.
Yes,
I think,
that's my kind of my style.
But we learn.
I love it.
He's a damn good coach, though.
Yes. Yes. Well, we come to that moment, fam, and I know since you his cousin, he laced you. And I never see the pictures. I see him when y'all see him. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Ready? Oh, shit. Wow. Yo, that smile right there, fam. You know it's because of smile right there, fam.
That's what's up, kid. That's my guy. I need that. I need that. Yo, send that to me. I need that. That's what's up, man. That's love right there. That's going in the frame. That's going in the frame, man. That's all love, man. That's crazy. Beautiful, man. Yo, what you guys got going, man, is something epic, man. For real, man.
Oh, man, it's been a blessing, man.
For real,
And
man.
what your cousin bring to the show, add this dimension. Let me tell you, he got people calling me. He even get me in trouble. People saying, yo, where my picture at? I didn't get my picture. Can I get my picture?
Listen, man, I will, as soon as I get out this quarantine, I will be right there knocking on your door to come get that photo.
Yeah, I'm now going to have it, so y'all hook up. But we definitely going to be talking some more, fam. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And listen, whenever you want to come on the show, going to come back season 2, I know you're going to have something going on. Sure. We can do it again. Sure. And I'll make sure I have my little glass of Henny here with you too. We can have a drink together.
Hey, man, listen, man. I just want to say thank you, man, and you know, go check out at EEP www.eeplaw.com. At EEP basketball, for real, man. We're one of we're the best. We're the best at what we do.
Nah, fam, I'm definitely gonna promote that, man, for sure.
And I truly appreciate you having me on this show. And if you would love to have me back, man, next season, it would be an honor. You know
no doubt. Man? Look, you already family, fam.
You already
Mel,
know that.
Good friend. Todd, my best friend. Mama
man,
G. We all family.
Please, man, when you speak to Todd, man, I'm gonna call him. Please, man, tell him I love him. I miss him. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get together. Happy holidays to you and your family, bro. For real. For sure,
bro. For sure. And listen, it's going to be your job next to nominate some people to be on the show.
Oh, I got a couple people. Perfect. I got a couple people.
All right.
Man. I'm not right now on the spot. Right now on the spot?
You can do it.
Right now on the spot, I'm nominating my guy, Levance Fields, man. Lee Fields, man. University of Pitt, Brownsville legend. New York City street ball legend.
Yo, let me tell you.
Big East legend.
I put up the young boy Sean Fulcher, right? Because I was watching him all weekend. And I said, there hasn't been another point guard as exciting as a variant since Carlton Paco Screen. My page is going off the hook. Levance Field, man, you can't forget Levance. I said, you're right. I put him up the next day. Put some respect to my name, fam. So he got a spot in the show.
Yo, listen, man. He's a dude that, you know, much love. Shout out to Lee, man. And I mean, in our NW, man, for real, man. Never ran, never real, man, for real. Dude,
oh yeah, and thank you, Karen. Today's Dave Edwards' birthday, man. Rest in peace, Dave. Man. Happy birthday, Dave. We love you.
Rest in shoot, man. From Queens, Dave Edwards, man. Oh,
it's man. My God, man.
How could I forget? Dave Edwards, man. Rise, man. Southside Queens, man. One of the greatest, man, for real. Rest in peace, Maine. Rest in peace, Maine Miller. You know what I'm saying, man? Just for real, man. Rest in peace, Dave Edwards, man. And wish everybody and their families during this tough COVID season, man. Stay healthy, stay strong, and get better now.
No doubt. Salute, AB. So, man, yo, my brother, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me, man. For real, G. For real, man.
No doubt.
It was all love. Thanks for having me.
For sure.
All right. Good night, man.
All right.
All right, cuz.
No doubt. He said peace, cuz. Said peace. Wow. Another powerful interview by my guy, the family now, Laron Mapp. A true Queens legend, for sure. New York City, stand up, because we are the official home for New York City basketball. Basketball Heads Live.